Her face is like fucking... Season's greetings and all that.
Come on. Welcome to Weston Super Mare, or Weston Super Mud as it's known locally. You walk on the cracks.
Eh?
Don't walk on the cracks. Don't walk on the cracks. What have you got there? A sand ball. What's that? Yeah, you're going to get covered before she's finished. Jimmy.
Oh wow. Snail shell.
Yeah. What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? Go ahead.
That was words.
Millie. It's a shell. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that, it's a shell.
Snail shell.
Look at that. You can keep that, put it in your pocket. Yeah, did it? You're there, Ems.
I need a wee so
You did a wee.
I need a wee so bad.
Oh, get off.
I'll take you off in a minute, Moles.
Yeah, that's how she got leads coming out of her arse.
Right up her
Oh, yeah.
Ah, rope burn! Rope burn!
Mikey is there, bringing up the rear.
Where have you got dogs?
No, that's wet. No, that's wet. I get everywhere. That will. You got the baits back in your step now, then? Pamela.
20p for a pig?
Yeah.
Right. And you can use contactless.
Well, you ain't got to touch the seat.
Contactless, yeah, I wouldn't want to.
Don't know who's been there yet. You got hover.
Oh, you got the attendant to do it.
Yeah. Whoosh. 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 What's this? What's this? Come on, bring it in. Bring it in. Oh, is that it? Is it a bit sandy? Was it a bit sandy? Bring it here then. Bring it here. And that's it. The adventure was done. It's cold. Time for hot chocolate. Millie's chasing a crow. Crow got fed up. Well, there we turned out. You're doing it more sedately, ain't you, Biscuit? Just the occasional. Look. It's ice cream. You see what's ice cream? Is that helping, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Just, do you like ice cream, Biscuit? I don't think it's good for you. He needs it more than you. His teeth. Every time you put the spoon in it, he goes, is that mine? Am I getting a bit of that?
She's getting grumpy now.
Yeah. Right, that's it. We're back. All the cobwebs have been blown out. Most of us have had hot chocolates or cups of tea, or Dave had a Irish coffee, I think it was. Dogs are happy, knackered. Home. Another cup of tea, and then, yeah, back round the yard, check the stock. Well, it's not been terrible. I mean, it was a dry morning. Oh, what? You are such a fusspot. A dry morning. Look, would you? Thank you. But get your wet feet off, grubby dog. Right, so that's it so far for New Year's Day. What's that? 3 mil. 3 mil. Nothing this morning. It was very nice to go and spend the morning with the family walking along Weston Super beach. It would probably be nicer to go to a beach a lot further south, but we didn't have time, and the tide was in, so we couldn't see a lot of mud. Anyway, the weather is diabolical. First day of the year. I know I'm whinging and complaining about weather again, but you know what? I really hope this isn't the beginning of an awful year. I really hope not. So, let's put a positive spin on it, shall we? So, if this is how the year's going to start, apart from snow, it can't really get any worse. So the only way is up. It can only get better. So that's what we're going to hope for. We're going to hope for a better 2024. We're going to hope the world settles down. Everybody can sit around a table and talk out their problems and go, yes, I see your problem. I can do something about that, and I won't do that anymore. And if you don't do that anymore, and they all agree, and they can all sit down and be friends. Right, so you guys are okay for tonight. You will need a refresh tomorrow, but I'm not too worried about you. You had 2 fresh bales this morning, so I know you've got plenty of food. These guys in here, their bed is also good enough for tonight. That's okay. And I'm pretty sure next door the bedding is okay. It hasn't rained that hard. So yeah, you're okay in there as well. But you want a bale, and I'm pretty sure the cows are going to want a bale. So what's the time? The time is 3:20. We've only got an hour and it's going to be dark. So let's get on and do this and then call it a day. We're really not going to get much done today. We never expected to get a lot done today because the weather is diabolical. I mean, what can you do? I want to shift that pile there, but where I want to put it, I'm going to make a mess. And I've got some fencing to do. I'll use the tractor and post rammer, but where I want to do that, it's wet, and I'll make a mess. It's not excuses, it is true. I don't want to do it because I don't want to make a mess. Because if I make a mess, I've only got to clear the mess up, which means that I've done the job and then I've had another job as well. Yeah, I know what I mean. Right. Did you? No, you didn't. Right, Mikey came down earlier and pinched a bag of logs. So changed the headstock over on the skid steer, so I've got to change that back. You lot not really enjoying that bale, are you? I don't think that was one of the best. Problem is, if I put a new bale in there, they won't eat that. It'll get wasted. I'll think about it. Go on, get rid of the water. Off we go. Ta-ta. Tim Rugman, our fabricator, barn builder, an hour or so ago, and he's going to come and see me here sometime this week with reference to getting me a quote to put up some more shelter for the cattle. Basically what I want to do is I want to put a roof over both ends of the barn where we feed the cattle, so that I can basically have their feed in a covered area. It won't be completely enclosed, so no walls, or, well, probably no walls. But I think what we want to do is extend that lean-to roof out across the yard here, which is going to mean that post has got to come out, that post, 3 gate posts have got to come out, 2 15-foot bays put in there. There'll probably be 15-foot bays to match what we've already got. And then all that area there, we'll sort the levels out in there with the roof on it, and then we can feed them in there next year. This is, sorry about that, this is provided I can afford it all. Whether we can do both, basically I want to do the same both sides. Hang on, I'll park up and I'll talk to you a bit more. One of my biggest issues is space, and that's going to be a continuing issue. So yeah, we're going to try and get a quote from Tim to basically extend that piece of roof there, and maybe even if we can extend it up a little bit so it comes 6 or 8 foot over that way as well. So 2 more bays out here. So that's a 15-foot gate, that's a 15-foot gate. So basically where that gate post is over there, it's going to have to come out to do it, and that one is. And there'll be 2 more in here. And gates, basically it means I'll have a covered area in there where all that crap is there. We can sort that out, and part of that scheme, again I've got to raise the money to do it, part of that scheme will be concreting the floor in here and possibly out there. I want to do both ends. I'd like to do both ends, but we might have to settle for one this year and one next year, funding allowed, because I've also got to help Holly. She wants a kitchen, so I've said I'll help her with a kitchen as well, and there's only so much I can earn in a year. So do you actually need this bill yet? Yeah, you can have it now. So yeah, plans. We've got plans as well to put up a building at Tether Farm over at Fifi's, but I think that's going to be a couple more years yet. Go on, in you go. Go on, in you go. Mind your bump. Go on, on your legs, mind. So the wood chip seems to have worked there. That area is no longer sloppy and messy, so that's okay. So yeah, so for this year, plans, things we want to do is this roof extended that way, 30 feet. The same that end, that roof extended that way, 30 feet, and that's literally all it is for, is to give me covered area to feed cattle, and if I can, concrete this as well. So this area, I don't think I can concrete both, but yeah, let's see if it happens. You know, very easy to talk about it and tell you what I want to do, not quite so easy to actually put it into practice. So okay. A long pitch roof like that means biggish steel, so it's reasonably costly in some ways. It's probably the most expensive way of doing it, but I need to match on with what we've got here. So like I said, if I can get this area covered, we'll keep the overhang that end, and I'll also see if I can get an overhang to come up over this way as well. So I'm pretty sure that he can do the opposite this end, as in to continue the beams, that long beam up inside, probably a sheet, 2 sheets, so it comes up, instead of the roof coming up level here, it'll be over there a bit. That's what I'd like. I don't want to go any further that way with this barn, because as it stands from my bedroom window, I can see right the way down through this building, and I'd like to keep that. So yeah, but we might change this netting while Tim's here. We might put some cleats up in here, and maybe even a centre pillar in here, and gates here that will open that way and that way, so I can move stuff from this yard into that yard. All this is in my head at the moment. This is just wild ideas and sketches in my head. But yeah, I'm fed up with this. Up to the back teeth with this. I don't like my cattle puddling about in this wet. The seasons just seem to be getting. We've either got a long hot summer, which threatens a hosepipe ban, or a long wet winter. It just makes everything soaking wet. So, all right, mate, you just bide your time. But Patrick's itching to come out, so come on. So yeah, it's welfare for the stock as much as anything else. I mean, the Dexters don't really care about being standing out in the rain. In fact, we've had them when they just stand out. Sometimes they just seem to like it. As I was saying, same this end. If I can get a 30-foot extension to this lean-to, this straight bit here, out there, it basically means that I can give these guys feed in a sheltered area. Although in saying that, I was actually thinking of maybe on this one bringing it out to this middle post. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 6 posts this end. So bring the shelter out up here to 30 foot and down that way. Again, it might mean having to take that post out of there and that one out of there. None of this we could do with the cattle in, but when the cattle are all out, yeah. So I think for this year it's just going to be just roof and maybe some concrete. Concrete mainly the other end though, that's the worst end. This end could wait another year for concrete. It's all down to, I'm not sure what's going on with the price of steel and the price of materials for buildings like this. I know none of it's cheap. So we're just going to do what we can. I don't really want to borrow money. I'm too old now to be borrowing money. So yeah, so what I've got to do is make lots of really, really interesting videos that everybody wants to watch. So I get more subscribers, and then maybe I can afford to do both ends. All right. So tell all your friends to subscribe to the channel, and every time they watch something, whether they like it or not, just give it a thumbs up. Actually, if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down, because that's still interaction. It still counts. Okay. Well, you know, YouTube built that barn down there. No reason why I can't invest in this bit up here. You know, 30 by 40 lean-to on there. A slightly bigger one that end. That would be probably a 60 by 30 that end. Because like I said, I'd go from the middle pillar. Great plans, great plans. I just got to live long enough to do it all. Okay, so that's 3 projects. Holly's kitchen, which I'm going to part fund. Holly's going to part fund some of that herself, and Julia's going to put a bit of her savings into that. So we're all going to get involved in that. Lean-to for the barn. One end, maybe 2, if we can afford it. Bit of concrete for the yard. This end, probably not the other end. Look at muck handling. I don't think we're going to do much of that this year. I don't think we're going to have the scope for that. Project 4 We haven't given up on the campsite. So, and we've also got a garden room over there to build, and I've only got 2 years left that I've got to do that in. Well, get it started anyway. So the planning permission lasts for 3 years. We've basically got 3 years to get it started. So we got the planning early this year. I'd like to get the footings in for that. So, but just to get a third of the cost of the build is kind of in the ground. So yeah, I'd like to get that done. And of course, if we do the campsite and we get planning for that, then there's going to be some investment in that too. So yeah, it's all positive. It's all things that should pay back. It's not like we're buying a car or a holiday or something frivolous that is just frittered away. It's all investment for the future. So, and I think it's all good investment, if you know what I mean. There's nothing else we have to do with the house apart from maintenance. We built the granny flat, done that, built Mrs. P's veranda. Everybody loves that. She's happy with that. There is something we've got to do up here sometime, but there's no rush for that. Basically, we're going to replace this old caravan. This has been here for 20 odd years. This was my kids' playroom when they were little. Bearing in mind we didn't have that big house, we had a little wooden bungalow. So I sold a load of haylage or something to somebody. Shan't mention any names, but I think he watches occasionally, right Steve? And he wanted to get rid of that, which he had as like, it was, I don't know, it's just a bit of accommodation on the farm where he was. And we did a swap. So yeah, it's on wheels. We actually towed it here from North Nibley behind a Land Rover. So it's actually, believe it or not, it's actually got a tow bar on it. So anyway, this old boy has got to go. We got to empty all the rubbish out of it, and I am happy to give this away to anybody who wants to give it a home. It's all wired up, but as you can see, it's just a general tip. It's literally a tip. But if somebody wanted a site office, a lambing shed or whatever else, you could do that. We lost the pipe on the heater, so all this would have to be replaced. It does want a bit of TLC. I mean, you wouldn't want to live in it. You could live in it. You wouldn't want to. There's a toilet and shower in there, which can be plumbed in. It's plumbed for gas, and obviously mains electric. We just unplug that. We'd have to get rid of all this. Is just a general dumping ground, you know, just junk. Glasses, gazebo, spare tyre for the wife's car, Ken Dodd's tickly stick, one of my old motorcycle top boxes. That's been to Italy and back twice. Motorcycle stuff. Yeah, junk. Basically just junk. So we'd have to get rid of that. But if anybody out there wants a static caravan, not to live in, but good enough for, I don't know, going up somewhere to put a, you know, stay in where you've got sheep lambing, it's free to the collector. I'm not delivering it. Whoever wants it would have to come and get it. But yeah, it's free. Doesn't include gas bottles, and the connection for that is down there. They're over there. But yeah, anybody want that? Let me know. Come in, take it away. You want a low loader or something to put it on. So, and then yeah, like I say, this is actually on our plans. So this is actually part of the farm planning. So I can replace this, no problem. So, because it's already existing and been here over 20 years. Right. So how many projects is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course, like I say, if we do the caravan site, then we will have to put up some facilities for toilets and showers out there. So it's only going to be a 14 pitch caravan site. When we put the planning in again, and when we do it, we will number the pitches at 14. There will be 14 pitches and that's it. So unless somebody comes in on an emergency, then okay, we would maybe let somebody stay overnight as an emergency. But the reason it's 14 is our sewage system can't cope with anymore. And our power can't cope with it. That's as much as we can cater for. We cannot physically cater for anything more than that. So yeah, and we're going to move stuff around. So it's going to be, everything is going to be invisible from the viewpoint up on the hill, and from the neighbours over the road who really don't want it at Bradley Court. They won't be able to see anything. There won't be any tall lamp standards like that. It's going to be a couple of little low ones and the light on the toilet so they can find their way to the toilets. That's it. So it's going to be basic. All right, so the idea is of doing a really nice, plush, posh 20 pitch caravan site. It's not going to happen. We'll settle for 14 decent pitches for someone who likes to come out, bit of peace and quiet, doesn't mind it too dark, because at the end of the day we're not going to have it floodlit. You know, if you want to come out and go outside and sit in your caravan, look at the sky at night, then you can do that. So light pollution won't be an issue. Yeah, all these things, we'll address those things. So that's 5 or 6 projects. And that's just here. We haven't even started the other farm yet. That's to follow.